Legacy, a word some of us love to use, others don't understand, and one of the things we all have to leave behind, whether we want to or not. Like death and taxes, we have to come to the realization or the reality of the legacy we leave behind. If actively worked on or built on, you will have the opportunity to build something for the next generation. Some of the definitions of legacy is the long-lasting impact of a particular event or events, actions, etc. that took place in the past or of a person's life. Another example is building a legacy means creating something enduring that can be passed on. This might be a physical business or work towards affecting change through a cause. A business legacy is not just simply a thing, such as a startup or a product, but also it's the ability to endure through generations. Now, you want to build something that lasts beyond your lifetime. And in order for you to do that, you need to start with building. And how do you do that? You find a problem that the world has, you provide a solution, whether it be a service or product for that, and you build it in such a way that when people look at the world, they cannot imagine a world or the world without your service or product in it. So therefore, you've now created something that is beyond yourself. And in this episode, I have such a guest. In this episode, I chat to Keith Taeuber, owner, Master Franchisee at School of Rock, South Africa, with over 25 years of experience in sales and someone who's excited about people. Keith and his team mobilize people to achieve their life goals through music. Keith, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the session. Thank you so much for taking up your time. The earliest of 2024, in January 2024.
Jason, thank you very much for the invite and for that awesome introduction. I really appreciate it, and it's awesome to be on your show.
Yeah, Keith. So the reason why I chose you, because in fact, I thought of you last year, but I thought I must approach with caution because you are a busy man. But also, I think you fit with all the things that I've been watching you over a period of time, the things that you've been accomplishing and doing with School of Rock and the many other entities that you're involved in. I've just been watching you and I've been so excited about your journey, or your entrepreneurial business journey, but just in terms of your life journey. And so I thought I must get this man on the podcast because, as I mentioned in getting you on here, that the concept and the heart behind this type of podcast is that it's things that I've learned on a Monday morning. I've been through an extreme, exciting journey in 2023, did some life changes and business changes within my life. And I thought, let's start this podcast to reflect on the learnings that I've acquired over this period of time in being in business. And that's why it's called Things We Learn on a Monday Morning, because Monday morning we go to work, we learn things on a Monday morning. That's in essence the concept of it. And one of the big things that I've really dug into and discovered and learned the importance of legacy. And that's why you popped up and I'm like, I must reach out to this man and hopefully he's available. And you said yes. So I'm so grateful and thankful that you are here. So Keith, to start it off, in your own words, how would you define legacy?
This is actually a subject that's where, when you sent the theme through, it's a subject that I love talking about, funnily enough. So I thought this is going to be easy. It's going to be great. But yes. Really, I think a legacy is really something wonderful, something spectacular that you leave behind. I think it's the sum total of all your personal values. I think it's your accomplishments, it's your actions, it's the decisions you've made in your life. If you are in a leadership position, very important how you've led others, and how you've put together a vision and allowed other people to share your vision and to walk with you on that path. So I think it's really about people. It's about people, something resonating with people. So if people resonate with you as a person, I would like to not believe that people do things with the mindset that they want to be remembered, because I think that would be very narcissistic. But I think if it happens naturally and the person that you are and your own personal values, if that resonates with others, I think naturally a legacy is left behind.
Wow, you've raised so many amazing points there about the definition and the robust nature of legacy. Is that it's not something that you, in essence, seek to be remembered by, or like I want to set out to build a legacy. Although some of us do, and I guess I'm guilty of that because I'm a firm believer in being part of entities in this terms of business wise, life wise, creativity, in all aspects of life, being part of something that is beyond myself. So if I had to understand or define legacy, it's always something that is bigger than myself. And maybe that in some ways can be narcissistic, but the way you framed it was so nicely, is that it's something that is you, and people will see your legacy for who you are. Just, you need to live your life, and that's how your legacy unfolds and is left behind when you leave this earth.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. And I think it's just about being true to yourself, because I think your truth will be lasting. And I think at the end of the day, if you live a purposeful life, a legacy will automatically remain when you're no longer around. So for me, legacy is linked very, very closely to your purpose and your passion in life.
Wow. Yes, and you should have come on my other episodes, because I'd spoken about purpose the first one, but it's fine. I saved the best for this one. Speaking of legacy, Keith, before I was going to jump to the School of Rock, but let's say, those that don't know who you are, tell us a bit about yourself, a little bit about life, maybe before School of Rock, because we can talk about School of Rock, definitely, because I see that as a huge part of your legacy, and the amazing that you're building. But tell, who is Keith? Who is Keith before all of these? Before this episode, who is Keith?
Yeah, it's a great question. That I was born in Germany, in West Germany, and I grew up in Namibia, in Windhoek. I spent the most part of my life there until I was shipped off to boarding school in Standard 6, went to school in Grahamstown, and then completed my schooling in Cape Town. After that, studied, and then I went into the corporate world for a while. I worked for a big corporate. I became a sales rep, and then eventually a sales manager. Worked in a distribution center as a distribution center manager as well, for one of the big retailers, and then became a key national account manager for the supplier. So that's where I learned most of my business skills from. And then following that, I actually went farming. So we have a family farm in KZN. So I spent, about 10 or 12 years of my life really delving into being a farmer, and literally and figuratively plowing back and giving back. And then following that came the move into School of Rock and everything else associated with it.
Wow. So yeah, I can definitely see the thread of legacy, building things beyond yourself. Farming. Wow. Yeah. Germany, yes. Namibia. Wow, you've been everywhere, and some of my favorite places. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Germany, by the way. I love Germany. Wow. I've been there once, and yeah, I loved it. I love the country. I think it's a beautiful country.
Beautiful country, yeah.
Yeah, and it's efficient. Let's put it that
way. Absolutely.
Yeah, Keith. So now we got to know a bit about you. So, School of Rock. I'm intrigued by the concept. I'm familiar with, and some people may hear School of Rock and think the movie, they think Jack Black, but they don't really know about School of Rock, the business, School of Rock, the actual school, the music school. Tell us a bit about School of Rock. Like, what is School of Rock all about, and what do you guys offer? Let's just give us a bit of a breakdown of what you guys do, who you guys are.
Jason, yeah, School of Rock basically started out in the USA, I think late 1989, 1990, as a single unit operation. It was previously known as the Paul Green School of Rock. The School of Rock actually precedes the movie. A lot of people think it's the other way around, that the concept came from the movie. We actually existed before the movie came out, which is quite interesting. So, but very much like you see in the movie, we do pretty much that. We are not a full-time school as is depicted in the movie itself. We are a part-time school. There are currently 350 schools located around the world. And they have just signed, I think, 150 odd more schools in Brazil. And they're moving into, I believe, into China, Japan, around Europe as well. We are the only one in Africa, in South Africa. We've been around for the last, it'll be 9 years in May. And we currently teach around 350, 360 students here from our branch in Claremont. We are opening another branch because we acquired the School of Rock Master Franchise license for South Africa. So we are expanding now and actively looking for franchisees across the country. But we are going to be setting up our head office out at a very interesting and exciting development called Devonbosch, which is outside Stellenbosch. And we're going to be opening that branch later this year as well. School of Rock is really the world's leading performance music education system, to put it in a nutshell. We reverse engineer the teaching of music. So we teach it really from the bottom up, as opposed from the textbook style of teaching. And that we found has been an extremely effective and fun way of learning, which keeps students inspired and motivated to continue learning. Because I know you've also got a very good music background, and music isn't easy. It requires a lot of work. It requires the practice. You've got to put in the hours, like everything in life, I suppose. And this way we are able to keep them involved. We get them into bands as well, and we put on great shows for them every 2 or 3 months, which are themed shows, which are designed to teach certain styles and theory through the music. And we put them on big stages around Cape Town. So they get to experience the lights, camera, action, and everything that goes with it.
Yeah. Your school, besides me doing some research on it, and obviously I know you for a while, and so I'm familiar with the product, but your school is an absolutely amazing concept, and I think it provides another aspect to music education that is relatable to those that feel like, or have the concept of music being a far-fetched thing which I need to go. I can't do it. If I'm not a musician at heart, then it means I cannot do it. Whereas it seems like your programs and your school seems to make it more accessible for the person who just wants to actually learn and learn an instrument, or learning to play music or even sing. So yeah. So Keith, I was going to ask you what sets you apart, but I think I'll ask you the question anyway. But what I can draw from what you were saying is like putting kids on stages around Cape Town at the moment, and obviously when you do branch out to take over South Africa and Africa, yay, let's do that.
Yay, let's do it.
It will be on many other stages up in the continent of Africa. Like,
Absolutely.
What is that experience? What is that process like to get a child who is learning to be competent, first of all, but also confident to be playing on a stage in front of people?
Yeah, that's such an important part of what we do. A lot of people just think, oh, well, we just teach music. It's more than that. I mean, I've seen over the last 8 or 9 years how students, everybody comes to School of Rock for a different personal reason. We have some really touching moments. We've had, because we teach all ages, we've had a student last year who it was on his bucket list to sing, and he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He was in his 80s, and he came to us, and he was with us for a few months. And we taught him to sing, and he sadly passed on towards the end of last year, and that really touched our heart. We see this time and time again that I think people put themselves in boxes and say, well, I can't do this, and so I'm going to make a fool of myself if I do this. And we allow people that platform, that stage, just to come and be themselves and live their dream, even if it's just for a few months. I've seen kids come in here who lack confidence. They've got no self-confidence whatsoever. And when you greet them, their eyes are cast to the ground. They don't know where to look. They're embarrassed. And literally within 3 or 4 months, their head is lifted up. They're looking at you in the eyes. They're greeting you. and they feel confident, they feel inspired and activated to just go out there and do what they love doing. And that, for me, in a way, is almost more exciting, and I live for that. That if people ask me what gets me out of bed in the morning and what motivates me, it's that, just seeing the overarching ability of the human psyche, I think, to forget very quickly that I thought I couldn't do this, but now I know that I can do it, and all within in a space of a few months, with obviously the help of people who really are nurturing and kind, and give people the platform to do that.
Wow, I can only imagine, particularly the story that you mentioned now of that student who had cancer and dealing with being able to make that dream a reality for him. And I can only imagine how beautiful that experience was. Like, I'm just thinking of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Keith, we'll just rewind a little bit back. Like, the way you're speaking about School of Rock, obviously you're excited about it, you're proud of it, and it is an amazing experience and an amazing company and business. But what made you decide to get into School of Rock? Because I mean, how did you come to know about School of Rock being open to launch their schools here in South Africa?
You know, that was a funny story. I think all my life I've always had a sort of a sixth sense, or a sense of discernment, and that inner voice, which I believe to be God, speaking to me and saying to me, Keith, your time is up here. You need to move on. You've left a legacy here. You have built others up to be able to handle what you started, and it's now time for your skill set to be used elsewhere. And there came a time on the farm as well where I got a very clear message that it's time to move on. There's other things waiting for you. I still have a very close connection and bond with the farm, obviously. It's still there, and it's very close to my heart. But I then sat down on my laptop very randomly, and what came to my mind is that I needed to open an education system, or a school, basically, that taught music, and in particular rock music, for some strange reason. And there's always this association with rock that it's there's all these negative connotations around rock, and it's secular, and it's this and that and the other thing. But anyway, I started looking into that, and I came across School of Rock. I just Googled rock school, and I thought, well, I need to just have a look at this. Up came School of Rock, and I immediately shut down the laptop, and I was annoyed. I thought, no, God, you sent me to this laptop to look for these things, and now this thing exists, so I'm done. And it was the next day that I thought, hang on, let me just go and have another look. And then I found out that it was only in the United States at the time. And I then reached out to them, and they said, my word, they've been waiting for somebody from Africa to reach out and open a school. So I then looked into it, and myself and my business partner then actually flew to the USA to meet with these random people that we didn't know from a bar of soap. And that's basically where School of Rock started. And it was 2 years after that initial encounter with them that we started the planning process here in South Africa to bring this concept to Africa.
Jeez. It's amazing how God works. He kind of puts things in perspective, and he gives you the prompting, and you follow the prompting. And I can even imagine you type in rock school, and then School of Rock pops up. The frustration, but also, okay, God that was the sign. And yeah, who would have thought 9 years down the line, or you'll be the master franchisee for the entity, which is really, really cool. And so I think, Keith, one more question about School of Rock, and then we'll move on to other aspects. Like, what really sets you guys apart from other schools? I mean, there are other schools, and we're obviously not going to be bashing other schools, and I've worked in conjunction with other schools. But what really separates School of Rock? What is your, as they would say, your unique selling point, your USP? What is your USP as a business?
Very businesslike.
Very businesslike. Yeah. I'll keep quiet now. What is unique to you guys?
I think one of the big things, Jason, is my team. I cannot emphasize that enough. I remember when we started the school back in 2015. It was in 2014 that we put an advert out in every conceivable press. We're looking for people. We're looking for people. We need people. We didn't know how many people we needed. We didn't know who we needed or what we needed. I have a very limited music background, but I am fairly okay with music. My business partner, not so much. So I was relying on God and a little bit of my music background to try and carry me through this. You know what they say? They say, fake it till you make it, right?
Yes.
In 2014, I was doing a little bit of that because I realized, boy, I'm going into a new industry. But the one thing I did know is that I've always had faith, and I've always had belief in myself. So that old adage from that sports company, I won't mention their name, that says, just do it. I've always lived by that just go out there and do it. Take a little bit of a leap of faith. It must be a calculated risk that you're taking, but take it and see where it goes. And I think that's where we went in 2014. And up came, I think we received over 300 applicants. We interviewed 150 of them that made it onto the shortlist. And eventually, at the time, we employed, I think it was 10 of them. And we've subsequently grown the team to 20 now. And I must say the team are literally all, I don't want to say handpicked, but they are handpicked. They've come to us at a certain time in their life and in our life as well, where their skill set was needed. And every one of them is like family to me, family to the business, family to the kids. So they are a very, very important part of what we do here, and a very big part of setting us apart from other music schools. We really put a lot of effort and do a lot of background research on people, getting the right people into to the business. And obviously it's very important because we're dealing with other people's children. Education is a very big part of obviously what we do here, and that's very important that people are adequately skilled and know what they're doing. And obviously that they also wear their hearts on their sleeves, that they are real people. They don't hold themselves above anybody else. We're all equals here at the end of the day. So I think that's a very big part of what sets us apart. But then secondly, obviously, is getting into the business side of things, is that we have a massive network around the world, which I don't think any other music school will even be able to achieve in any time, just because it's been 30 or 40 years now in the making. Lots of relationships built with some of the big artists in the USA and all around the world as well. And they are sort of co-opted into the School of Rock management body. So it's sharing firsthand by real life rock stars out there that our kids and our parents and students are able to draw from.
Sure. Yeah. So if you didn't know by now, you'd want to get on the School of Rock bandwagon. So those that are listening and seeing us on YouTube and Spotify, School of Rock, it's good to hitch your wagon to School of Rock if you're hearing what School of Rock is all about. So yeah, that's a small plug. I'll plug more later, don't worry. So Keith, School of Rock is one entity. There's more to you than just School of Rock. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
There's this other thing, in something to do with origin. There's something to do with bands. There's something to do with talent management. Keith, can you tell us a bit more about that? There's the other side to you, which not many people may know about.
No, I mean, yeah, it's something we've sort of developed over the last year or two, getting into talent management. I think it's a natural what's the word? Natural process to move for progression to move from this to talent management. So there's a number of things we do. First of all, our team are known as Team Rock. So they are also a band in themselves, either a 10-piece band or a 16-piece band. And they also are marketable. So that's what we do. We market them as a band for corporates and other big functions around the country. That we just started last year, which is going really well. And then we've started One Talent Management. So One Talent Management basically looks, it's a bespoke talent management entity, which was set up primarily at this stage just to manage the sort of affairs and the careers of four very talented young guys, notably Ravon Sekanary, Ryan Sekanary, Liam Webb, and Nathaniel Bartis, otherwise known as True Origin, formerly known as Origin, but we're now known as True Origin.
Okay.
And basically, as the name would suggest, it's the start of something new. That's our payoff line. We are inspired by nature, driven by humanity, and led by the soul. And that's we're really trying to get something new out there in the market, and seeing where it's going to go. We have officially launched a couple of tracks for the band, and we have our official launch show later this month at the V&A Waterfront. We've got some big artists that are appearing with us, namely Amy Jones and Chad Simon. So that's going to be a really awesome show as well. And then really it's just about nurturing them as best we can, and trying to build their careers and get them as far as we can from that aspect.
Yeah. No, I obviously in my research, I went to go look and listen to some of the songs checked online. I enjoyed it. Really, 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 really good. And those guys are extremely talented and amazing. And so I can't wait to hear the albums and the more songs that come from that. And I will definitely make a plan to be at that show at the Waterfront, because that lineup's going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, School of Rock, talent management across the board. Wow. You are a busy man filled with a lot of stuff happening throughout your day. I can only imagine how you keep it all together.
I don't know.
I think you don't know. Well, you're looking well rested and good. It's not like you don't look like the world is on your shoulders. You look healthy and well. So
it's still early in the year, right? It's only January.
Yeah. It's only January, yeah. So Keith, I mean, we're going to move to the last section of this particular interview. Like the motivation part, like what motivates you? And I know you mentioned earlier in our conversation what gets you out of bed, but I think from the business perspective or from a human perspective, what motivates you to cover all these bases that you're covering, that gets you up in the morning, that you get to manage the talents and the giftings of these different bands, to build a system to help navigate and educate young to old, young people and old people across the spectrum, across the age spectrum, to not only achieve their dreams, to learn music, but to get out of their comfort zones and do something beyond themselves. Like what motivates you? What keeps you motivated to keep doing this?
Jason, that's such a good question. I think it's all about living a purposeful life. For me, that's very important. You know, we only get given one opportunity to live life. So we might as well live it to the best, live your best life, as they say. And by that, I don't mean necessarily having all the materialistic things around you in a car and a boat and a plane and whatever else have you. But it's really about, it's the motivation of digging very deep inside oneself and saying, right, what more can I conquer? What more can I achieve? And what is this, or how does this relate to my purpose? I think if you wake up every morning and you say, I re-identify with my purpose, I identify with my creator, and I know what my purpose is in life, then it comes easy. You are very self-motivated to just get up and do that. I believe in getting up very early in the morning. I don't even have an alarm clock, but I get up with the hens or the chickens. You know, when the chickens start crowing in the morning, I'm awake. And I believe in just, you must use every moment that you can to do the most. There must be balance, obviously, in one's life, but I think if I can help to make a positive impact on people's lives, that makes me very happy. That's what I live for.
Keith, so for all the business people listening to this podcast, those that are aspiring to be in business and just inspired by your journey and School of Rock, like what are some of the lessons you've learned in building your business or multiple businesses that you've been part of over the span of your career?
Yeah, so many, but I think just if I can leave one last bit of inspiration, it's just to say that go out there and do what you enjoy doing. If you're passionate about something, you will be successful without a doubt. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. Because put it this way, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. When you believe in yourself, self-confidence comes through, and you then take and don't be scared to take small calculated risks in life. And I want to emphasize the word calculated, because it's not about taking risks. A lot of people say, no, we must take risks. But I'm saying use some discernment, and, pray about it if you need to pray about it. Whoever you look up to, if you believe in God or whoever you believe in, just really get in touch with your Creator and identify. You must know, first of all, what your purpose is. If you don't know your purpose in life, then the passion isn't going to come. So it's the purpose, it's the passion, and then after that, it's really about making a go of it. Get out there and believe in yourself and just do it. Don't doubt yourself. Doubt is the worst thing in life. So many of us battle with doubt. There's so many things that go through one's mind, all the negative things. What is this person going to think of me? What happens if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? What? There's so many what if questions. And it's not about focusing on those things, because if you believe in yourself, you will be successful. And that's just the way I think I've lived my life. And I've always surrounded myself with a great team, because no man is an island. I would not be where I am today were it not for the support and friendship of every one of my colleagues and team members throughout my life. Not only here at School of Rock, but right back, going back to varsity and post varsity. That those relationships are very, very important, and that's why it's critical that in life one also chooses one's friends wisely and hang around with the right people. If you surround yourself with the right people, with good people, good things come to you. If you don't do that, well, jy sal uitvind.
Yes, you will find out. Exactly.
You will find out.
Keith, if you had to die, not that you want to die today, we're all going to die, obviously, at one stage. But how would you want to be remembered?
That's such a tough question. I don't really know how to answer that. I think it's because I'm just naturally I'm a very humble, down to earth person, and for me, it isn't about being remembered myself. I think if I can leave a legacy, I'm not really focused on who left the legacy, but as long as I know that I can rest easy, and I will rest in peace knowing that I died empty. I really gave it my all. I helped others where I could. That for me is the most important thing, and more than that I can't really say.
You said it so nicely. Knowing if I could die, knowing that I died empty, that I've given it all, and that is a powerful statement, or a powerful way of looking at life, and that means you give everything all the time, and so everyone that's encountering you receives your best, and that is absolutely amazing. It has come to that time of the episode. This is where we talk about gadgets, apps, and practices which make our lives a little bit easier, or at least enjoyable. And today I'm going to talk about Canva. Now, Canva is deeply entrenched into my life, if I want to put it that way. It is a online graphic design platform which makes it accessible for the newbies, the novice people, as well as experts to design beautiful pieces of art and artwork that you could use for podcasts, music, artworks, the works. You could use anything, even PowerPoint presentations, which I've used it for. Like I said, it's deeply entrenched in my life. I use it in all aspects of my life for everything that I do. So I look and sound, or at least I look way more professional than what it is, but it is definitely Canva, which has had an indelible mark on my life. And like I said, it's super easy to navigate and to use, and I can just throw out my creativity and thoughts in my mind onto the screen and able to just move things into place, which makes it look very nice. Obviously, if there's more intricate stuff, then I do get involved and do get in contact with a graphic designer for the more, like I said, the more intricate stuff. But for the most part, it is an absolutely amazing tool. And I do encourage you, if you don't use it, by all means use it. I use the premium version, so I pay 800 odd rand per year, which is super cheap, and it gives me access to all the premium features of the program software. So, Keith, I've got Canva. What do you use? What makes your life easier? What sort of things do you do?
I love Canva as well. In fact, I was lying in bed at 3:00 this morning. I couldn't sleep and designing a couple of posters. So I hear you. I love Canva is the best. I mean, where's Canva been all our lives? It's one of those things that you just ask yourself, say, why, what? But I think one of my hacks is an app called Time Tree. It's awesome app. It's really awesome if you are managing multiple teams and multiple bands. That actually you get everybody onto the app, and everybody knows where they must be and when they must be there. Very importantly, and people can also actively add times that they're not available. You can schedule rehearsal times on their meeting times, whatever the case may be. So when it comes to a busy business schedule like my own, it's good to have a diary, but also to have Time Tree there. It literally has everything and tells you where everybody is and when they can be and when they can't be there.
Is it a paid subscription, or is there a free version of it?
It's actually it's a free version, but I think if you don't want the pesky little adverts in it, then you can pay for it. But it's the free version is really good. It offers you everything you need.
Time Tree. Well, I definitely will look into it, because I'm always looking for management tools because of the multiple things I'm involved in, and I think this is a very, very good way to help navigate that. And also because part of my function, I'm in charge of the music ministry at my church. So we've got 4 bands with at least minimum 5 people in the band per band. Sorry. So you're looking at 5 to 7, sometimes 8 people in the band. And so these rosters and all that stuff that has to be put in. And so if this is a good management tool to help navigate, for everyone to know when they're on and, rehearsals and all this stuff, I think this will be something I can definitely explore and engage in. Time Tree.
Yeah, and it's really it's a live platform as well. So actually, as people make changes, everybody is notified in the string. So you can see, Jason has marked himself as unavailable on this date, and then it saves you the back and forwards of messaging or phoning people and saying, are you available? Aren't you available? So it's really good. I recommend you get onto Time Tree.
Perfect. And there you go, people. That is the hack of the day. So here are my thoughts of today's episode. Keith is an amazing conversationalist. I enjoy talking to him. I know him for years, so that's helpful. But also, Keith, his story is just so amazing, and our conversation, there's so many layers in what he was saying, so many points I could draw out. So I thought, let me try and give you 3 things which stood out for me in the conversation. 1, God is a key part of life. Throughout his journey, in fact, how he acquired School of Rock was the prompting of God to knowing that his time on the farm was coming to an end, and he needed to start and build something. So God prompted him, and as I said, the rest is history. So God, and for those that don't believe in the Christian God but believe in other gods, the spiritual aspect of something, a higher power bigger than yourself, assisting you in orchestrating your life, or for your steps to achieve your dreams, is important. So knowing that you can rest on something that's bigger than yourself and someone that's bigger than yourself is important, and has been important in his journey. Second thing is, don't live life with the intention of building legacy. Just live your life as is, as you want it to be, and the legacy will be built automatically. Now, obviously, in the intro, my understanding and my perspective of legacy is that being intentional in how you live, and with the thought in mind that you're building something beyond yourself. Keith is like, you know what? Actually, just live life. Accomplish what you want to accomplish. Set out your goals. Be calculated in your risk. Do your things that you need to do. And at the end of your life, know that you've lived your life. And that will be your legacy. So how people engaged with you, how people encountered you, how people received things from you, whatever they needed, if they asked for help, how did you help them? Those all form part of legacy. Which then ties into the third point I want to draw out, is that he says, die empty. Give everything. So if people encounter you, they have experienced everything about you, and you've given them your very best and your everything. So I was inspired by today's conversation, and I know some things that I can take away and walk away and apply to my life. And these are the things that I would definitely approach and apply to my life. So thank you for listening to Things We Learn on a Monday Morning. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, click on the like button, click on the follow, and even add some comments. I would love to hear from you. How did you enjoy the episode? And look forward to some more amazing guests and more amazing conversations throughout 2024. So until next time, goodbye.